Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Today is March 26, 2021, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching the euro break lower on a significant level. There will be no major economic events scheduled for today, but as we look at the various markets, starting out with the currencies, as mentioned, the euro breaking lower and GBP actually bouncing off of that retracement. Now looking at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both bounced. In terms of commodities, gold pretty much unchanged and has not been in play, where oil is trading sideways in a relatively decent range. Now looking at the stock market, mostly higher, but it's been a mixed bag. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, it's pretty much unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So relatively, it's been a tight range week, okay? When I say that, I mean relatively, there hasn't been such a big play this week. But looking at the EURUSD, a daily chart, okay, this is why it's important to raise this, because we broke this 1828-ish level. This was a previous support. Now, we did have a little bit of a previous support and a significant resistance before, so this was an important level for us to hit. And we're trickling down below 1778. Now, this is not a massive move, but a significant move, both because we had an uptick in volume and both because this has been the first time since we've broken this area since November, okay, of 2020. So both of those reasons add significance into this area, and that means potentially we could get back into the 116-ish level. Now, what's happening in Europe right now is chaos, because I don't know if you guys have heard, there's a major vessel that has gotten stuck in the Suez Canal, which affects the shipments from China to the European Union. Okay, it goes through that Suez Canal through the Sinai Peninsula, and that is affecting really the transportation from China to the EU. And sure enough, that's what's happening right now. And you can see that that is reflecting in the actual currency. Now, looking at the GBPUSD, we actually got a nice bounce here. Okay, down from 136.73 to 137.60, a decent bounce. Now, what is significant about this and important to note about this is that the GBP is getting stronger versus the USD while the euro is getting weaker. Okay, so as a currency, as a comparison, relatively, the euro is weak versus the USD as opposed to the GBP. Now, jumping into commodities, okay, I'm not going to cover gold because it's just really been unchanged, but looking at oil and trading at 59.21, and pretty much 57 is that lower range and 60.80 is that upper range, so we're right smack in the middle of that. So really nothing impetus jumping at me right now. Now looking at the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones, first the Dow Jones, okay, let's look at a 4-hour chart. We had a decent sell-off, okay, a really decent sell-off over yesterday. We retraced down to 32,000. Now we're bouncing to 32,600, which is almost a midpoint between 33,000 and 32,000. And collectively, it's a responsible place for us to be. We're above the 30-day moving average. Could be that it's going to be overbought somewhere in the 32,700-ish level, but it's yet to be seen. Looking at the NASDAQ, we also got a bounce finally after hitting 12,700-ish level. My resistance-ish level, okay, would be at 12,943. I don't imagine we'll get there, okay, where we're watching the NASDAQ actually becoming relatively weaker versus the Dow Jones. Okay, so my headspace is now shifting, okay, between the two. Now looking at the individual stocks, Alcoa was up on the day. JP Morgan was up mildly on the day, okay, but as we look at the tech stocks, some of them were a mixed bag. Okay, when we look at Apple, it was up but not significantly. Okay, if we look at Facebook, it was down actually 276. So it's a mixed bag. So when I get into an environment when it's a mixed bag, it becomes a little bit more difficult, and in some ways more easier, because then you could really funnel out which are the weak stocks or the weak currencies and which one are the strong ones, and then trade accordingly. Now lastly, looking at Bitcoin, it's really been unchanged here at 52,500-ish level after retracing decently from this area. Okay, now ultimately this is the lower area of it. I do expect a bounce. Let's see if we do get that, because we've been consolidating in this upper limit okay, between 62,000 or 61,000 and 52,000 as this is finding new footing, okay? Now, on the long term, it's still very bullish on it, but still need to digest some of the information that this is going on. Now, we're hitting an area in the end of March where it becomes a little bit quiet as we do move forward to new contracts, new future contracts in the futures, but we will be hitting new corporate earnings season pretty soon. So, we're right smack in the middle of that, and markets are opening up because of COVID, the vaccine. So, it's going to be kind of interesting the next month and a half what's going to happen in the markets. This is Fred Razak. I wish you guys a great trading day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.